Good morning. Given the circumstances, there's been a great deal of focus on Tara's chosen vocation, police work, and rightly so. She wanted to be a police officer ever since she was a young girl, speaking of it often over the years. When the reality that she was truly heading for a life of service as an officer materialized, she was over the moon. By the time she started volunteering in the Explorer program, service had already become an important part of her identity. But there have been others here who can speak of Tara's service as a police officer in more depth than I. I'll always remember the girl before she donned her uniform and began serving the people of Sacramento. I suppose today it's become obvious that Tara was an extraordinary person. She was one of those rare people who devoured life, doing so while somehow maintaining both strength and kindness in equal measure, both an aggressive vigor and a gentle touch. She was marble wrapped in velvet. My husband Mark and I had the exceptional honor of knowing Tara, Justin, and Krista for more than 20 years. And I'll never know the words to thank Dennis and Kelly for the gift of being a part of their family. A family that Tara loved with an intensity that was moving to witness. The connection between those 5 people is something we would all do well to replicate. When I first met Tara, she was a precocious 4-year-old girl. I could see she glowed with life. She had an intellect and curiosity that seemed unusual for such a young girl. Traits that grew as she grew, excuse me. Tara embraced the people in her life with such remarkable love and enthusiasm, and had that rare ability of making you feel, when in her gaze, that you were the only person that mattered. She made every person she knew believe that they were her best friend. And of the many things I adored about Tara, I was especially moved by that way that she dealt with others, by the importance of people to her. And even as I tell you of her devotion to the people in her life, how can I talk about Tara without including her intense affection for dogs? At times, I had to wonder which species she loved more, people or pooches. And I'm glad she was never put in the position of having to choose between me and her beloved dog, Mojo. I probably would not have been pleased by the outcome. You know, I think it's a very human trait to speak of those who have recently passed in gracious, glowing terms, often a bit exaggerated. But it's so important to understand that this isn't the case with Tara. None of the glowing adoration you hear of her today is embellished. You talk to 20 people who knew her, really get them to describe her without the weight of what happened on June 19th, and you'll hear 20 people tell you of a young woman of unique character. No one has ever asked, was Tara here? My good friend Dennis told me on Saturday that we need to focus on what Tara has accomplished, what she's experienced in her 26 years, rather than the loss. And he's right. She lived an extraordinary life, but I'm having difficulty with that. Perhaps it's a flaw in my character, but I am so very troubled about the life unlived that was taken. I'm angry about the experiences unexperienced. Tara was to come visit after she finished field training, to see us, to play with our dachshunds, who she loved as if they were her own. That won't happen. Next year, I have the indescribable honor of officiating the wedding of Tara's sister and soon-to-be brother-in-law, Krista and James. Tara was to be the maid of honor, and she told me that I was to have the honor of officiating when she married. Justin is planning to marry his delightful girlfriend, Janina. Tara would have wanted to somehow be involved. That won't happen. Tara planned to go to Ireland. She had a boyfriend, Adam, who she loved, with whom she most likely would have enjoyed a long life. She had such ambition, and I'm told that I'm not exaggerating when I say that she likely would have risen to the highest rungs in the ranks. That won't happen. But Dennis, you're right. It's time to put those feelings aside, to stop mourning what hasn't happened and celebrate what has. She accomplished much in her short life. She loved many and was loved in return. She traveled more than most. She accomplished more goals in her life than many twice her age. Dennis, I'm going to take your advice and remember the bright light that was my sweet goddaughter. I'm going to focus on the positive. While some things will not happen, much has, and that's what I choose to remember. She was so elated to have visited Europe, surprising Justin, Krista, and finally Kelly in Italy, and seeing France and Germany as well. And Tara was involved in the Olympic Development Program. That did happen. Early in life, Tara identified the career that meant so much to her. She pursued that profession aggressively, as you've heard, and was elated that it was proceeding so well. That did happen. She found love. Love with her boyfriend, unconditional love of her family, a love of friends that was returned in equal measure, and a love of her colleagues and people she met. That did happen. So with the positives fresh in my mind, I must say farewell to you for now, my sweet girl. Oh, how you would have loved all this pomp, all of the outpouring of love and support. Thank you for making us your godfathers and showing us a love that was so wonderfully uncommon. I love you always, and you'll forever be a part of our lives. Tara Strong.